What's up, family? Texas fan of rehab here. Let's run it back. So, let's get right into it. Oh, wait, real quick. Paying homage to H Town, of course, the legacy team that I grew up rooting for, Houston Oilers. Forget the Tennessee stuff, man. Just want to throw a little different hat in the mix this week. Something different, you know. Of course, I got to get more of my paraphernalia for my Texans. Again, I haven't been to the Texans store just yet, but more things will be coming soon. But just wanted to get a little throwback in this week, something just to kind of pay homage. I got an opportunity to go down this week to the rodeo and go over there and look at the old former eighth wonder of the world. I guess it's always gonna be the eighth wonder of the world, right? But got to go out there and go check out the Astrodome or be in proximity to the Astrodome at least. But man, got to go to the rodeo this week, man. Listen, Bun B Southern Takeover was dope this week, and I know this isn't football related. I know this isn't Houston, Texas related, but it is NRG related. You know what I'm saying? We got the opportunity to go and check out the Bun B Takeover, Southern Takeover this year, and man, it was a phenomenal show. Not quite as good as last year. I gotta say that to just gotta come off the cuff with that. But last year's show was on a whole different level with a whole different respect. It was all H Town. H Town represented all the way to the fullest, man. So this never gonna be touched. But on a whole different level, Southern Takeover was his thing. It was a real vibe. It was a real moment, man. And to be up there in the stands and the club level, man, and get to see and enjoy the sounds, man. Listen, Bun did his thing, man. He brought out Tila. He brought out Jazzy Faye. He brought out a whole list of names, man. Hold on. I'm gonna run them down to you real quick. Tila, Jazzy Faye, 8 Ball and MJG. He brought out David Banner, Little Flip, Trinidad James. I mean, Cupid, Juvenile, Manny Fresh, Charlie Boy, Youngster, Scarface. He even brought out Erykah Badu. My dude, man, like he went all out this year, man. Much more high caliber names and talents this year than maybe in some sense for what we had in comparison last year, but nonetheless, man, a whole different showcase. The only thing about this year's rodeo that I feel like we were maybe robbed of was just the opportunity to hear more songs, more selections, because the rodeo has to keep things tight. I think it's a tight 55-minute show. So, much respect to Bun being able to orchestrate and pull this thing off. Obviously, his name is Gucci in the industry, man. Everybody loves to come out and represent for Bun, man. So, he's one of my favorite artists of all time. Between him and Andre 3000, of course, those two, they represent two of the biggest groups that I've always loved and grown up on. Of course, UGK and Outkast. And so, me growing up in the 80s, man, listening to hip hop and getting into that thing, man, like this is right in my wheelhouse, man. So I loved it so much, man. So I was up there in the crowd singing top of my lungs, man. Like I might even be able to post a clip. We'll see. I'll figure that in post. But yeah, man, just had to cover the recap on the rodeo, man. It was a real dope show, man. If you get a chance to go, you should go check it out, man. Carnival's out there, man. It's well worth the money spent. Treat yourself every now and again. It's worth it. It's worth it. But listen, let's get right into it, okay? Not gonna cover a whole lot this week. I'm gonna do my weekly recap as usual. Of course, the biggest news right now is the fact that the combine was going on this week. Of course, you got to see a lot of young cats out there doing their thing. I personally consider this the T-shirt and short Olympics. You got a lot of cats that's gonna be doing things that's gonna be phenomenal, but they not dealing with any pressure of anybody coming to try to knock their heads off or trying to get a 2-minute drill accomplished within a short period of time. So it is what it is. A lot of the skills that they're going to be displaying are going to be highly athletic skill and intelligent skills, strength-based skills or whatever. But the real question is, how does it translate to the game? We've seen thousands upon thousands of athletes come in and out of the combine out there in Indianapolis, and some of those get an opportunity to shine and do their thing, and it represents for them well in the NFL. But a lot of these guys, man, they just they toil in turmoil and can never get that thing to convert over to something tangible when they get to the next level. So, my hope, I'm always optimistic for a lot of these guys, man. You never know what can happen once these guys get a shot. And once they get a team, I mean, they only need one. I mean, as you can see, you had a cat like Brock Purdy last year come out of nowhere, just waiting for the opportunity, man. He got a shot, took off, you know what I'm saying? So you got to make sure that you do your due diligence as a scout and make sure you on top of these guys. And that's not my job, thankfully, but as a fan, as an amateur scout, it's fun to sit there and watch NFL Network and watch these guys roll. And let me tell you something, man. These boys was rolling, man. Them wheels was moving, man. You got cats out there bigger than me, and I'm not a little dude, man, but you got cats out there bigger than me that's out there running 4.3s, bruh. 4.3s, I don't think you heard me, man. 4.39. This dude, man, Nolan Smith ran a 4.39. Bruh. And then there's another brother out there bigger than him, ran a 4.43. I mean, Byron Young ran a 4.43, man. These cats are defensive backs, man. Defensive linemen, and they had a defensive back that DJ Turner ran a 4.26. Like, what are we doing, boy? These boys are evolving, man. They doing something spectacular out here, man. Now, again, it's got to convert to the field. Every play ain't running 40 yards. A lot of these stuff is happening in a tight window. Can they run this in repetition? Can they run this, 50 plays a game? To be determined. But I mean, you can't look at that number and just say that that's not something to sneeze at. I mean, like, if that can convert onto the field, these boys can be beasts. Now, they could also be combine pros and then get out there on the field and be duds. Again, to be determined. But I think that that's up to the coaches to be able to coach them up and get that talent to match up to what the skill and athleticism are. Now, QBs are the focus for me. That's what I'm most interested in, to be honest with you, because I know that the Texans need the QB. And now let me get to this old thing real quick. Hold on 1 second. I need a sip. You see what time I'm on. So, Mel Kiper is on this stuff again. And, if you heard me in the last couple of episodes, man, Mel Kiper, golly, bro, like, I can't do it with this cat, man. So the Texans got the number 2 draft pick this year. They also have the 12th pick in the first round of the draft. And so Mel Kiper, for whatever reason, is putting out the fillers for his guy, the guy that he really wants to get promoted. I guess maybe they're padding his pockets like a lot of the other quarterback prospects of the past, or maybe their agents. His guy is Will Levis. And so in his best conspiracies, he's trying to come up with ways to get Will Levis up to the top of the draft board. And so he's going to do his thing. Listen, man, you're going to hear Mel Kiper promote this dude till the end of time, till the draft comes, or maybe then beyond that time. And maybe he'll, what were the Texans thinking, or the Bears, or whoever ends up with the first pick or whatever. So I'm not worried about, Mel Kiper. Mel, man, he's trash. I don't even know how he's still pulling a check. He's robbing these boys. But anyway, man, listen. The Texans need a quarterback. I think that's pretty obvious. So who I'm interested in, I'm going to be honest with you. My interest, number 1, is with C.J. Stroud. Number 2, Bryce. So I'm going to tell you like this. Bryce is awesome. I don't have anything to take away from Bryce other than the fact that he's small. And the guy, he can get out there and slang it and do his thing, but he's small. Now, C.J. Stroud, smooth, silky smooth, quick delivery, silky smooth with his passes, very accurate, very athletic. These guys, I mean, they're different size, different caliber type of quarterbacks, but, I think that they both can be productive in the NFL. Now, they're not the only two. You got another guy that was out there shining and grinding at the combine, Anthony Richardson, man. Anthony Richardson, he was the number 1 in the 40-yard dash. He was the number 1 in the broad jump. He was the number 1 in the vert. I mean, dude had a 40.5-inch vert. Like, that's crazy. 244. He's weighing 244, jumping 40.5 inches. Like, Where they do that, man? Come on, like these cats is just different nowadays, man. The athleticism is off the charts, but does it convert on the football field? Like I can get excited all day about how big his hands are, how high he jump, and all that stuff. It really don't mean anything if you can't sling a rock. Now, in shorts and t-shirts, these boys out there slinging a rock. In college, of course, these boys out there slinging a rock, but they haven't been out there against their pro defense, that schemed up defense that's ready for them at that next level. So again, to be determined. Now, again, I'm gonna go back. I want the Texans to draft a quarterback with the first pick. Here we go. I'm gonna touch this real quick. The Texans do not need to trade up into the first round. I'm sorry, into the first pick. Doesn't need to happen. They can stand pat where they are and pick up one of the top 3 guys that's going to be available right there and don't have to lose anything. For whatever reason, with Mel Kiper saying that the Texans are going to jump up to 1, whether that's to take C.J. Stroud or that's to take his boy Will Levis, I don't think the Texans need to trade or get rid of any assets to try to make a move up one spot. Yes, they were screwed by Lovie Smith and you know going forward in the last bit of that game, as opposed to doing it in the first game of the season where we had the tie. That said, we're fine. We don't need to panic. You know, we're not gonna fix all gaps in 1 year. You know what I'm saying? Get this guy, whoever it is, find the guy that you're comfortable with, rock with him, train him up. Let's go. Get as many assets as you can, because this squad has many holes. It's gonna be a young team. You might as well just take advantage of the opportunity as a full reset. You got a new coach, a lot of new coaches on the staff. I mean, everything is. We're not expecting to win the Super Bowl, so why rush? You get what I'm saying? Like, pick the quarterback that you want. Let's go. But you don't have to move up to give up additional assets to take the first pick. Just my 2 cents or whatever, man. So listen, I had to keep it light this week. It's a little late. I'm getting on and off because I gotta get up and get ground and go to work in the morning. You know, the Texans ain't paying me for this, so I'm just doing this out of the fun and the love for the game and the love for my squad and the love for my city. So, you know, I'll be checking in again with y'all next week. Hopefully I'll be able to tap in again a couple times in between as news pops off. I'll be doing my weekly recaps. You already know that ain't gonna stop. We're gonna keep this thing going, man. Let's go, Texans.